Good morning. We call the school board meeting of St. Lucie County School Board, our regular meeting, July 9th, 2019, to order, and welcome all of you that are with us. It's sparse in the summer, I know, but it's good to have those of you that can be here today here with us. If you would please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our Kids at Hope Hunter Pledge. As an adult and a treasure hunter, I am committed to search for all the talent, skills, and intelligence that exist in all children and youth. I believe all children are capable of success, no exceptions. Thank you. We now open the public hearing for the proposed adoption of the amendments to school board policies as listed in the agenda. Are there any here that wish to speak to those proposed changes? Seeing none, Mr. Superintendent will receive your recommendation.
I recommend the board approve the proposed amendments to policy 6.12, 6.211, 6.301, the school health manual, and the new policy entitled Armed Aggressor Active Assailant Code Red as submitted.
Thank you. Board members, we have a recommendation. Do I hear a motion?
So, second.
And second. Any conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We now move to our special orders of business. Mr. Superintendent?
All right. We do have, I'd like to recommend the board adopt the Student Crime Watch resolution as submitted.
Thank you. Board members, we have a recommendation. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We now have our CTA report. Anyone here to report for CTA? Okay, CWA. I told you summers are sparse. We just moved right through. We'll now go to our consent agenda. Board members, we have the agenda before us. I hear a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second. Any conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Superintendent, we'll receive your recommendation for the consent agenda.
Recommend approval of the consent agenda as submitted.
Thank you. Board members, before we move forward, are there any items that you wish to have separate discussion or separate vote on? Hearing none, we have received the recommendation for approval of the consent agenda items. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And now we move to Mr. Attorney, do you have a report for us?
No item, thank you.
Thank you, and welcome back. Good to have you with us. Okay, and Mr. Superintendent?
Thank you. Good morning to everyone. I'll try to say a few things here so the meeting lasts a little longer. But we have a few folks that I want to recognize this morning, and two of them will address the board. First, I'm going to ask for Heather Rickseckler to come on up. She's our new principal at Fairlawn Elementary, and served us well at Lakewood Park, and this was her first principalship.
Good morning, Madam Chair, school board members, and Superintendent Jett. I stand before you today humbled at the opportunity to serve as principal at Fairlawn Elementary. I look forward to serving the students, faculty, and families at Fairlawn in this new capacity. I would like to take just a moment to thank two exceptional people who have helped to steer my career. First, I'd like to thank Jackie Lynch for asking me a little over a decade ago what my 5-year plan was. Although I'm not sure she was asking me as much as she was telling me, let's make a 5-year plan and get going. So we did. She helped me hone the craft of teaching and get me a role into coaching. I would also like to thank Diane Young, who for the last 3 years has allowed me to learn and grow as her assistant principal at Lakewood Park Elementary. These two women are true examples of selfless leaders and true friends. I hope to one day be a fraction of the pinnacle leader that they are. I would also like to thank my family for their unyielding love and support. And again, I thank you for this amazing opportunity to continue to serve St. Lucie County Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to call up Jacunte Prince, who will be our new Director of Transportation. I know some of the board members met him 2 weeks ago, so we can hear from him as well. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Madam Chair, Board, Superintendent Gent, I would like to, again, thank you for the opportunity to come and serve St. Lucie County Schools. I'm here to just reinforce the mission of safety and care for our children. And as a ancillary service for your school, I want to make sure that, you know, our children are transported in a safe manner from point A to point B at all times. And if you ever need me, please call on me. I'm here to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe we have 3 new APs, so I'm just going to ask them to stand. There's no pressure on you. You don't have to speak. We let you do that when you become a principal in a couple of years. But we have Kelly Baylor here, who will be new AP at Fort Pierce Central. She has her team with her. I see Ms. Buchanan and some of the other APs. The whole crew's here this morning. Very good. Thanks for coming out. We have Annette Newsom, Palm Point. I saw Annette earlier. Is Annette over here? And Elizabeth Gomez will be at Lakewood Park. Okay. So for everyone that just introduced, if you were having sleepless nights over the summer because of your new roles, then you're in the right mental frame of you're in the right frame of mind right now. Just a couple of other announcements. We had sent a press release out, and it's on the webpage as well. Our Citizens Advisory Committee, folks that are interested, would have until community members would have until July 15th to submit that the resume to Ms. Harrison, and that information is on the webpage as well. We have a teacher career fair, which will be on the 11th over at St. Lucie West Elementary School. That'll be from 10:30 to 12:30 this week. I believe that's Thursday. We're also doing a food service, child nutrition services hiring tomorrow at Fort Pierce Central from 1 to 4 p.m. As well. I want to remind our parents and community members as well that our summer slide, we have resources available on our webpage for reading, language arts, mathematics, and science. There's also resources on social studies, arts, technology, college, career, ELL, that's available to the general public as well as to parents. I would encourage them to take advantage of that. We have kindergarten enrollment as well for Sam Gaines Academy for Emerging Technologies, and the Cass School, and also for student registration, new registrations. It's online as well, and so that's been going pretty smooth this summer. It's new doing it online as well, but everything is going in a smooth so far. It's unfortunate we don't have representatives from our unions here today to thank the board, but I want to thank the board and I want to thank our negotiating teams, and then on behalf of all the employees in the school district, I want to thank you for, we have completed all the negotiations in July, which is probably some kind of a record somewhere, and we'll open the new year with all of our employee groups ready with a new contract, and I think it's a very, very fair contract. And we had told employees if we were able to pull off the referendum, which we did, hopefully that would help us to take care of all of our employees, and the board has done just that. So I want to commend the board members for that. I want to thank the members of the bargaining teams as well for that, because I think it's some districts are still settling from last year, and the fact that we can go into the year with a contract and put our main focus on teaching and learning and what happens in the classroom, I think is commendable and commendable to the board, and it's what sets you apart in the state of Florida for your commitment to all of our employees and to make sure that our employees are taken care of. So I just wanted to publicly thank you for that. And let's see if I have anything else here today. I We also, today, the board approved the SRO contract for a 5-year contract with our sheriff's department. So again, part of the referendum dollars, we'll have a SRO on every one of our campuses for the 2nd year in a row. There'll be specific training that will be going on. We'll be working with the officers over there. Where's Brian? Assissio's official title, Captain, I thought it was. Captain Chris Sissio. He'll be back with the SROs and working closely with us. We'll be working with training with them, working with Bill's department as well, and on working and training with students with special needs. And so we're excited about that and have that wrapped up as well. So we're really ready and gearing up for the new year. 2 weeks from today will be our kickoff. All of our administrators will be back. The board is invited. We'll be over at Port St. Lucie High School this year in the auditorium there, and we'll do our kickoff and our day, and we'll make sure that Chris has that information. I believe that's going to be at 7:45 at PSL High School. So I want, hopefully all the board members, usually you guys are there. And that'll be here before you know it, and then school will start pretty quickly, whether we'll close our eyes and it'll be here as well. So looking forward to a lot of work's going on behind the scenes in the summer as well out there in the buildings and the facilities and those kinds of things. We've updated you in the past on that. So we're in a good shape and getting ready to open up in August. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Board members, this is our time of the year where we evaluate the performance of our superintendent. So at this time, I would entertain a motion as to the superintendent's overall performance. Ms. Hensley?
I move that we give the superintendent the highest category we can, which is satisfactory.
We have a motion and a second. This is the opportunity, board members, for any discussion or comments on that recommendation. So, Ms. Hensley, would you like to start?
As I speak to him almost every day, I feel like I evaluate him every day. So I think that we've set the standard. We're able to move in the direction. The culture has been created that is going to be, I think, quite sustainable, and that is in great measure to the team, but especially because of the superintendent's commitment. And so we appreciate the forward direction, and sometimes there are hiccups. Not everybody's happy all the time. But by and large, the district is in a wonderful place, and we have a very, very strong team, and the superintendent has chosen wisely, and I think we have chosen very wisely.
Thank you, Ms. Hensley. Ms. Hilson?
I just appreciate the continuity that we have with Mr. Gent. I have a great deal of trust with him in his fairness, no matter what the situation is. I honestly feel like I can go to him and speak to him about anything, and it stays between he and I, and the situation is handled. And I have to say, especially as a woman, I feel very respected, and I think that's not always the case for many women, that sometimes they do feel somewhat disrespected with authority. So, I mean, I give him above satisfactory, but we can't give him above satisfactory. But I think, again, the true sign of a leader is the staff that they surround themselves with. And I think that Mr. Gent is very careful, the people that he brings into his team and his leadership, and that speaks highly of him. It speaks highly of the team. So please don't leave, Mr. Gent. We really like you.
Dr. Mills, do you have any comment?
My comment is that within, I think it was, what is it, been 4 years now that you've been here? Going on 5 years. There has been a great improvement in our district up under Superintendent Wayne Gent's leadership, and not just for our schools, but for our community. And I see him as a man who truly does care for people and for humanity and for our children. And I'm well pleased. In fact, we are going to ask him to be an honoree, to receive an award for his service in the community in several months. So hopefully he will accept that honor, but I definitely give him a satisfactory.
Mr. Gent, you've created a great culture here. We've had a couple massive projects with the referendum, new building, trying to put people back together this year, and we have a great staff. We're on the rise, and we attribute 99% of it because of your leadership, which funnels down to your staff. Appreciate you.
let me just say thank you, and it's,
Chairwoman hasn't gone yet.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I was going to give him a satisfactory until he cut me off. So now I'm going to reevaluate now, board members.
Sorry, Wayne.
No, that's precisely one of the things that makes this such a joy to be part of. We are like family, and we do have that trust in each other, which also comes with that ability to lighten situations when they come along, because there's so much that's so important that the superintendent and the board and the superintendent's team have to address on a day in and day out basis. So that ability to be able to have humor injected and to have emotions and all of those things that make a team come together recognized and appreciated is just, there really aren't words to express the gratitude. And one of the markers I use is feedback I get from community members. And no matter where I go, whether it's within our own community, within the state, at any of our school board functions, Wayne is always held up with the utmost respect when people speak of him and speak of the work that's going on in this county. And it is indeed a pleasure and an honor to serve beside him, beside these school board members, as we do continue to take this district to its height year after year. So thank you, Wayne, and yes, most satisfactory.
All right. Well, thank you, and it's a team effort, team of 6 right here, but the real heroes are out there in the audience, and some are on vacation right now, but we have a fantastic group of principals, administrators, leadership, in all of our departments. We work hard on the culture that we have, and we have the right people in the right places, and it's really a tribute to them as much as anything else, and I appreciate those comments, and just want to say thank you. And yesterday ended last night, so it's a new year. Happy New Year, and we got work to do.
Can we please applaud our staff and our administrators and our teachers and our custodial and our bus drivers for the wonderful job that they've done this year.
So we have our direction set for the coming year. Board members, are there any other comments you would like to make? None. All right. Hearing none, and we have no unscheduled speakers to come before us, we are adjourned.